Good evening, PWCS families, and welcome to tonight's Family Engagement Series session. Tonight, we have Prince William County Public Schools Summer 2026 Summer School and Discovery Enrichment. My name is Yanette Boyd, and I am the Supervisor for Family and Community Engagement. Tonight's session will be presented in the requested languages of English, Spanish, and Chinese, and will be recorded. We will begin interpretations once the interpretation slide has been reviewed in all the requested languages. So if you're on your computer, you're going to look for the interpretation button on your control bar. Once you click on it, you will pick your desired language. Then your icon should change. If you're on your phone, you're going to click on the Join Audio and click Call over Internet. Click on the three dots and more. Click on the language interpretation and click on the language you want and done. At this time, the Chinese interpreter will review the slides.
大家晚上好，今天我们提供中文的同声传译，要使用同声传译功能，请大家按如下方式设置。如果您通过计算机、电脑接入的话，请在屏幕的左下角，请在屏幕的下方寻找这一个球状的按钮，点击，然后呢，再选择下拉菜单里面的中文，然后你就可以听到对应的这个翻译了。如果说是在手机上面接入的话，请点击加入声音，然后呢，通过互联网接入，然后呢，再点击右面的3个点，以及更多的这一栏，接下来选择你们对应想要听到的语言就可以了。
Thank you. At this time, the Spanish interpreter will review the slides.
Muy buenas noches a todos. Muchísimas gracias por estar en esta nueva sesión de participación familiar, en la serie de participación familiar de las escuelas públicas de Prince William County. En verano, la escuela de verano y también enriquecimiento o descubrimiento de enriquecimiento. Si ustedes están en su computadora, en la parte baja, una vez que se encienda el canal de interpretación, van a poder ver un globo terráqueo al cual al darle clic van a poder accesar al canal de interpretación en español o en chino. Si están en su teléfono o dispositivo móvil, lo primero que tienen que hacer es darle clic a ingresar el audio o unirse al audio y call over internet o llamar a través de internet. Y en la parte baja van a poder ver 3 puntos y más, en donde van a poderle dar clic, accesar a la parte de interpretación y escoger su canal, ya sea chino, inglés o español. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now begin interpretation. And at this time, I would like to welcome our presenters for this evening. Joining us today, we have Ms. Mandy Livings and Ms. Laura Gass. They are both coordinators for extended learning opportunities with Prince William County Schools. And joining them, we also have Mr. Patrick Heath. He is the coordinator of instructional and information technology training. And so they will be your presenters for this evening. Welcome.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Laura is going to share our slides. All right, so our summer programs. So PWCS offers both an academic recovery support summer school program and a discovery enrichment opportunity for students. We are going to talk about both of those tonight. And these programs are offered at different times, so students may participate in both. And these are our registration dates. Registration just opened yesterday for elementary, middle, and high. And for elementary and middle, that will run until May 22nd. And for high school, it will end June 5th. So families will register on Parent View, and you'll get to see a demonstration of what that looks like in a little bit. And then information for families, we'll put the website in the chat. It is important that for our kindergarten through 8th grade students, that only students that are eligible and recommended by their school will be able to register for summer school. So students must be recommended in order to attend. So summer school is only for current full-time PWCS students, and there are no late registrations. And these are our program dates. So for elementary and middle, it starts June 23rd and ends on July 10th. There is an open house that you can attend On June 22nd. For middle school, that's 12:30 to 2, and for elementary, it's 1:30 to 3. For high school, they start on June 29th and end on July 22nd. And this is only for students that have previously failed a course and not to take a course to get ahead. And Laura will talk more about that in the high school section. There is no school on July 3rd. That is a holiday. Students that are recommended will be notified by their school to attend. Breakfast and lunch is provided at no cost each day, and transportation is provided at satellite sites throughout the county, and summer school is free. And elementary and middle summer school information, it is a traditional academic recovery program. Our elementary bell times are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Middle school runs 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And for kindergarten through grade 8, we focus on mathematics and reading skills, and it is designed to be an extension of the school year and help support students develop skills to prepare them to be successful into the next school year. And students will also receive 30 minutes of science enrichment daily. And these are our 14 elementary sites, and then we have 4 middle school sites. And if you go to the website, I'll put the link in the chat in a minute, you can see where your child will attend based on those sites. And Laura's going to go over the high school information.
All right, for high school, we have 2 sites. We will be at Potomac High School and Unity Reed High School. Again, if you are on the PWCS website, locations based on your current feeder school will tell you which one you'll go to. And this is a traditional academic recovery support program. The goal of the high school summer is to allow kids to recover credit and get on or stay on graduation cohort to graduate on time. For grades through 9, 9 through 12, these courses are primarily students that have failed a course and they need to retake the course. If you are trying to get ahead and accelerate, just take a new course because you want to make room in your schedule, that's where Virtual Prince William would be your option. This is in person. Students are expected to attend each day, and the bell times are from 7:30 until 12:30 each day. And again, they also get free breakfast and lunch, and the program is free. If your student is attempting to graduate this year, the graduation will be July 24th at the Hilton Performing Arts Center. And more information will come out about that ceremony from your base school closer to that time. Current high school students may take up to 2 courses for repeat credit. They do come in person and they take 1 course at a time. So if they are signed up for 2 courses, for example, Algebra and English 9, they would start their first course on day 1 and they would work on that course till they finished. If they can finish that course by July 10th, halfway through the program, they would then start their second course. So they have the opportunity to earn up to 2 credits. Depending on how long it takes them to complete a course, it is self-paced. Students can finish quicker than others. Will depend on if they are able to do 1 or 2 courses. The way it works for those students, they take a pretest for every unit because they've had this material before, and if they are able to score high enough on those pretests, they get to skip ahead units, which is why some students complete it quicker than others. As I said, they are expected to come in person, and there is an attendance policy. It is a very quick program, so they are expected to be there every day and can have no more than 3 cumulative absences or 15 hours of the program. These are the courses that we offer throughout the summer. It's the majority of the graduation requirements plus a few electives. If you see the asterisks next to the course, that means if that student is enrolled in the course, they will take the corresponding SOL test or end of course test that goes with that course. If you are considering what to take in high school, I would strongly suggest your student reaching out to their school counselor to talk to them about the best course to take in the summer, to see what their options are and to see what would make sense for their graduation plan. These are other courses that we will offer, and these are for seniors that are attempting to graduate. We do offer one non-credit course. This is for PWCS students only. This is for if you have a student that needs to get their driver's license and was not able to do that through the Health and PE 2 course. For multiple different reasons. But this is a free opportunity if you have a student that is looking to get their driver's license. This is, again, in person. It is mandatory. You cannot miss any days. You need to be there those 8 days to meet the DMV's hour requirement for the classroom portion of driver's ed. But this is something else available this summer. Again, speak with your counselor if you have questions. And there will be a parent night that you would also have to attend in order for your student to be eligible to move forward with their license. Besides the classes, we also offer some testing opportunities throughout the summer for high school students. There are a few different options. The SOL 2-week remediation and test option. These are for students that have passed the course but have not earned the verified credit because they did not pass the corresponding SOL test that went with that course. So they've already completed the coursework throughout the year. Now there will come that first week, they will remediate for the first 4 days, Monday through Thursday, and they test on Friday. If they pass the test on Friday, they are done. They do not need to come back for the second week. If they fail the SOL on Friday, they would come back the second week, remediate for 4 days, take the test again on Friday. So they will get 2 testing opportunities, 2 chances to get that verified credit this summer. We offer work keys testing, which is a substitute test if students need reading and writing. Again, this is for a student that has already passed their English 11 course, but they have not gotten that verified credit yet. We offer remediation and testing on those days for reading and writing. There is a test-only option. This is for students. This does not involve any remediation. They're just taking the SOL test. I would not recommend that option unless that is something you have talked about with your counselor and there is a special reason that you need to come and take that SOL without the remediation with it. If you are enrolled in one of those courses we showed you previously, you do not need to enroll separately for the SOL. You're automatically enrolled. This testing is for students that already passed the class but just need that test. Again, and I can't stress it enough, speak with your student counselor to make sure that you are signed up for what you need to make sure you are on the path to graduation. We're gonna go to Patrick now to talk about registration on Parent View, and then we will come back to Discovery after he shows us what to do on Parent View to register, because the Discovery you register a separate way. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so Mr. Heath can talk and show you how to register for all the options we've just showed you.
Let me switch my screen. Give me just a second. So good evening, families. I'm going to begin and show you how to get to our Parent View portal from the PWCS website. You may have noticed that we have had an entire overhaul of our website, so it looks very different now on from the landing page. I'm going to begin from pwcs.edu. From here, look for the services and support and services tab. Click the little arrow next to it and look for the apps and technology section. From here, click those words and it's going to open our apps and technology page. You'll want to scroll down and you'll see a list of pages in this section. About halfway through, you're going to notice there is a section called the Hub. So we're going to click on the Hub, and that brings you to our Hub welcome screen. The final piece is you'll notice there's information over here on the right, and at the very bottom it says log into Parent View. So from here, I'm going to switch over to my demo site. So from here, you put in your username. It should be an email address and password. If you're not familiar with this or don't have this set up, please reach out to your school. The school registrar will be able to work with you to be able to get a username and password to be able to create this account. Once you have that, you're going to click Login, and that should open your account. So now you can see I'm using my demo account here. So I'm going to go to my elementary student down here at the bottom. And from here, I'm going to click on my elementary student. Actually, I'm going to go to the top where you see my online records. Here we go. So from online records, now this is where you're going to notice all of the registration packets available for Prince William County. You want to scroll to the very bottom, and you're going to notice two packets here, K through 8 and 9 through 12. I'm going to begin with our K through 8 packet. So once I open, you're going to see a welcome screen and introduction. You're going to scroll down and you're going to look for the blue button that says continue. Click on the blue button, and now you should see your children listed here. You'll notice that the bottom student here from Potomac High School doesn't have a grade because this student is excluded because they are not in grades K through 8. But the other 3 students on my account here, which are in grades K through 8, are available. So I verify this information and click Save and Continue. Next, it's going to ask you for your electronic signature. You want to make sure that it matches the name that you see at the top of the screen. I type in my name and I click Save and Continue. Now you're going to go through several screens to verify information that you already have established within ParentView. So you're going to review the address here and make sure that it's still your current address. If not, you want to check this box and you're going to have to verify your address that has changed. I'm going to say that as my current address and click Save and Continue. It will then also give you your mailing address that's on file. Again, you're verifying that that is correct, and then you click Save and Continue. You'll notice over here on the left-hand side, I'm going through each of my steps of this process. So I've finished the family section, now I'm on parents and guardian. From here, I'm validating my information. So here is my name, as well as my address. As long as that is correct and my preferred language is correct, I click Save and Continue. Now I can see both parents in the family listed here. I've completed the parent and guardian section and it's highlighted green, the green check. So now I'm ready to hit Save and Continue and move to my next screen. From here, you're going to set up any of your emergency contacts. You would be able to add additional emergency contacts by clicking the green plus and adding a new contact. I can also click the edit button for a contact that's already there. I may also delete a contact. Once I have all of my emergency contacts established, I'm going to click the blue Save and Continue button. Now I can see those students in my house that are eligible for summer school. So these are the 3 that are in progress. So again, I'm going to start with my 3rd grader here. So I see the entering grade and I click on the In Progress button. You will also notice again, like I said before, there's the student being excluded. So down here, this student is not listed. I'm also going to go ahead and click Exclude because Tim is not going to attend summer school this summer. So I'm going to click Exclude and it moves Tim down here. So now it's just my 2 students that are going to be in summer school. And again, I click my In Progress for my elementary student. You'll notice now that I'm on the Student tab here, and I only have 2 more steps to go. From here, you're going to choose the drop-down menu and choose the academic recovery support. And then will transportation be needed for summer school? Yes or no? Once you've done those two questions, click the blue Save and Continue button. Now you're going to choose your summer school location. Your location will be based upon your base school and will be the school that your child is scheduled to attend based upon the summer location. So I can see that my elementary student will attend Mary Williams Elementary School. So I click Save and Continue. And now I am done. I'm going to go ahead and finish this student, and then I'm going to switch devices and we'll do my middle school student. So I click Save and Continue. And it's fussing at me because I have some, I have not finished this one. So I'm going to stop sharing and switch devices. Now I'm going to show you from my iPad. The process is actually the exact same. There we go. So on my iPad, I'm going to locate my parent view icon at the bottom of the screen. And I'm going to put in my username and my password, just as I did before, and click Log In. You now again can see all of my children here. Again, I'm going to click the online records. And I'm going to choose students. Let me choose my. It was being cranky earlier today too. Oh, there we go. Choosing on. So let me go back and show you what I clicked on. Excuse me. So I am going to click on online records, and then you'll notice the word online records here at the top. I click on that again, and that brings my online records up. Because I already started, you'll notice it says resume summer school registration. Otherwise, it would have looked exactly like you saw on the last screen, and I would go through the exact same messages. You'll notice I still have my green checks over here for all of the sections except for students. This time I'm going to click resume, and I'm going to choose in progress for my middle school student. So again, I say academic recovery support, and I choose yes or no for my bus transportation. I chose yes. And again, I click the blue Save and Continue button. Finally, I do the drop-down menu, and you notice that it's changed. So this time for the middle school student, it picked the middle school location based upon my base school. So Ripon Middle School will be my summer school location for my student. I click Save and Continue. And now I'm ready to do the final step here. I click Continue. I'm going to review. So I click the review button. So now you need to go through and just ensure that all of your information is correct and accurate and ready to be sent in. So I slowly go through and read each section, just verifying my information. If I do need to make a change, you'll notice a little pencil next to each of the content areas. I can click that edit and make edits to those sections. Then finally, at the bottom, I check the box that says I have reviewed all registration data and verified that it is correct. And I'm going to click Submit. A message will pop up that says Confirm. It says pressing OK will submit the student summer school registration information for the 25-26 school year. From this point on, you will not be able to make any further changes to the summer school registration information in this portal. However, you may return to the summer school to check the status of your submissions. You can come back here to see your status, But once you submit your application, then it will be processed by the summer school. So I click OK. And now my information has been submitted. So now I'm going to switch one last time so you can see it from the mobile version. Let me share. All right, so here is my mobile version. So again, you see my Parent View app. I choose the Parent View app. I have my username and password. I click Login. And now I can see my students in here. Again, it looks very similar to the iPad. I click Online Records. And then I click again the Online Records. And I have my choice of applications. I'm going to scroll to the very, very bottom. And you'll see again those two applications. This time I'm going to choose Summer School grades 9 through 12. I get the same information that I saw before and click the blue Continue button at the bottom. And now again, I see my students here, but you'll notice that, that several are being excluded. So I'm going to do Oscar Brown. So again, I verify my address. I verify my mailing address. I hit save and continue. Now you can see that I have only one student eligible. Oh, I'm sorry, this is my parent. This is my account. I click continue, save and continue. Now I have one student eligible. So I only have one high school student. So that is the only one eligible for this application. So I choose the in progress. And now this one looks different than the others. It has a few more option choices. So I choose the beginning. It says choose a summer school program. It can either be a high school credit recovery, SOL remediation and testing, or just the standards of learning test only. I'm going to choose high school credit recovery. Does this student plan to graduate in July 2026? Yes or no? My student will graduate in 2026. Will transportation need to be provided by PWCS? Choose that. You get yes or no. I said yes. Please choose a class you wish to enroll in for the summer session. By choosing that, now here are the available classes I have. I need to take biology. Do you wish to enroll in a second course? That's where I can say yes or no. I'll say yes. And we're going to do geometry. So once I've selected my two courses, I come down here and say the course selection and acknowledgement. And again, I'm going to sign my name. So you just type in your name. Once you've completed your name, you click the blue Save and Continue button. And this is where you choose your summer school location. So again, just like in the elementary, you're going to choose your location based upon your base school. So the closest summer school for me would be Woodbridge High School. Once I've selected that, I then choose the blue Save and Continue button. So now I have the green Complete check. And again, you'll notice the others are excluded because they don't meet the qualifications for this packet. At the bottom, I have my blue Save and Continue button. And now I'm ready to submit. So I click the green button at the bottom here for review. The same screen you saw earlier comes up, and now I can review my information. And again, choose the pencil to edit any information that needs to be changed. I scroll to the very bottom where I have that I have reviewed all registration data and verified that it is correct. I check that box, and then I'm ready to click the green submit button, which will submit my application. Again, you'll be prompted with the confirmation information. Once you've read that and you're confirmed and ready to go, you click the blue OK button. And your application has now been submitted and is ready for review. And that is your 3 different ways you can do it: mobile, with a tablet, or using the online website for Prince William County Schools. I will now turn it back over to Ms. Gast.
All right, thank you, Mr. Heath. And I know he showed you a lot of information. If you are on the PWCS website and under summer programs, and Ms. Livings put that link in the chat a couple times, that has all of those directions written out step by step to help you follow that. And those also can be translated if need be. But I appreciate showing in the different, because it does look a little different on your cell phone versus the screen. So that was excellent to see. If you have any issues registering or getting in, signing in to Parent View, if you have not done that before, please reach out to your son or daughter's school and they can help you make sure that you have access to your Parent View account and answer any questions. Also, if you are not able to register, if your son or daughter is K through 8, it may be that they have not been marked eligible to attend summer school, and that would be a conversation you would have to have with your son or daughter's school about whether it is appropriate for them to attend summer school. Our other option that we do have for students that may not need to attend summer school are our Discovery Enrichment programs. These are different 1 or 2 week camps. Some are 1 week, some are 2 weeks in length, from July 13th to the 24th. And these have a wide range of options that are put on from our Visual and Performing Arts Department, STEM, CTE department, gifted game design, and more. On the website, you can see what options are available. Registration is open. It will close on May 22nd. These camps do fill up, so there are some that have already reached enrollment, but many are still open and available. The times for this camp are 9 to 12:30, and the location, we are using a couple different schools, but all in the same exact area, with Mary Williams Elementary, Potomac Middle, and a couple specialty classes such as welding and cooking at Potomac High School. This is open to students in grades K through 9, but each camp has certain grade levels that it is for. There are a fee for this program. It's $150 for the week or $250 for the 2-week camps, but we do have scholarships available also. Students will be given a grab-and-go breakfast, so they have something to eat when they arrive, and transportation is provided from satellite sites throughout the county, and you will choose that site when you register. I'm just going to click on the public website so you can see what it looks like for the Discovery programs. If you scroll down, it will tell you the different camps available, how to register. This is registered through your student's quick pay account because there is a fee associated, so it looks different. It is a different place from the Parent View. And the transportation details if you need to know our bus stops. So if you scroll down, this is just kind of what I've already said. If you qualify for a scholarship, this is how you would get that information. If you attend currently a CEP school or receive free and reduced lunch, if you follow these steps and email it to summerschool@pwcs.edu, we can give you a code for a fee waiver for these camps. And then this would show you, if you click on what type of camp you're interested in, it will take you down to what is offered. It will tell you the name of the camp, the grade levels that could go, and this is the current grade level. So if your student is currently in 5th grade, they would be eligible for these first few camps. And if you click on on each one, it would give you a description of what the camp would look like, which weeks it's offered, if it's 1 or 2 weeks, and other information you may need. So these are our CTE options. We have some English language options. The Gifted Education and Talent Development Camp is the game design camp. some mathematics for our K through 5, and then many visual and performing arts. So arts, theater, music, a lot of options if you have students that are interested. So you can look at this website, see what is there, and then back up at the top for registration. Like I said, this is you are registering through Student Quick Pay, and if you click on there, it will have step-by-step directions on how you would do that. If you do not see a camp available that you are interested in, it would be either your student is not eligible due to the grade level, or that camp has reached maximum enrollment and it is now closed. But you can find all that information on this website. And if you have any questions, you can always email the summer school email. And if it's registration questions, I recommend reaching out to your school and they would be able to help you with the Quick Pay account. And that is all of our information we have tonight to share with you. So in closing, I will hand it over to Ms. Boyd, and if there is anything else we can do for you.
Thank you so much for providing this great information. We will open up the chat for our families just for maybe a few questions. So Ms. Martin, if you can open up the chat for families, if they have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat for us.
Chat is open.
Thank you. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and type it in the chat and we will answer those questions for you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So we did have a question come in. It says, my daughter is in pre-K and will start kindergarten in August. Is she eligible for Discovery Enrichment summer camps?
No, they have to have completed kindergarten. So look
Okay.
forward to it the next year.
And for our families, I will be providing you a copy of today's presentation as well as the video recording so that you have it as a resource. It says for the middle school, summer school, will the students be tested to see if the student has progressed during the program?
Students will have weekly progress checkpoints that they'll do with their teacher throughout the course of the 13 days in ELA and math. And then you'll get a weekly report from the teacher, how the student's doing, what they've worked on, those type of things.
Perfect. The next question, yes, a copy of today's presentation will be provided to all who register for today's session. Do kids have to bring their own laptops for the 3D printing CTE camp, or are they going to be provided?
So most camps for Discovery, they need to bring their device. If it's something specific, because some of the CTE camps that they're doing, they might need a specific device. They'll let you know what you need to bring.
It's the next one. Will specialty stop at Kinsley Mill Park will be available for Parkside Middle School students? This is a question about express bus stops.
We don't know the express bus stops yet for summer school. For Discovery Enrichment, those are available. So those will be available as it gets closer.
Are CTE options available for sophomore students?
They end at 9th grade, the camps.
Okay. This is another question. Will students need their devices for summer school in general?
Yes, they will. And any student can take home their device also, but yes, students will keep their device.
Perfect. Will parents be notified if a child needs to attend summer school or any of the areas you talked about, or will they need to check on Parent View themselves?
You will be notified by your school if your child needs to attend summer school. So if you haven't heard yet, just reach out if you have any questions about that.
This next question is again about the devices. If students will keep them when the schools are closed, or do they pick them up after?
You don't need to pick them up. They will keep them at the school.
And so another one, what are some available options for sophomore students? I would think they can go to the website to see what's available for 10th graders,
Yeah.
correct? Mhm.
Yeah, we do not have discovery options for 10th graders. The options we talked about are for sophomores that need assistance recovering credits or getting on cohort if they are falling behind. If you were looking for advancement, I would talk to your school. There's virtual Prince William and virtual Virginia. There are certain other options if they are looking to get ahead in credits. For the driver's education portion, you would register just like Mr. Heath showed you, and just when you're choosing your course, you would pick the driver's ed course. If you are unsure of how to do that or if they are qualified for that, again, talk to your school counselor and they could help sign you up for the driver ed class.
Okay, I have a second grader that will be going to third grade next year, but was recommended that she go to summer school. What would be the benefit for her to attend this 3-week program?
And you can talk to your child's teacher more about what skills perhaps they would need for the summer program, but ideally they were recommended for support in ELA or in math. So it's to continue the learning. So they would be continuing what they had learned in second grade just to prepare them for the next school year.
So no options for discovery for sophomores is what your understanding. Is this right? Yes, there are no options. There's the credit recovery option if needed. These are some great questions.
Yes. Yes, the driver's education is free. And to clarify, this is the driver's education classroom portion. This is to get those classroom hours that they need. This is separate than the behind the wheel where they drive the car. This is for the students that still need the classroom hours to get that DEC1 card that they take to the DMV to start the behind the wheel. But yes, it is free.
Okay. We can take a couple more questions if there's any other questions. What would be taught in driver's ed and as in what
The
kind of
same, yeah,
topics?
it would be the same that the students get throughout the year in Health and PE2. There are modules created by the DMV that they put out that they have to cover before they're allowed to start participating in the behind the wheel driving portion to get their license. So this would be students that maybe transferred in partway through the year and didn't get the hours needed to complete the driver's ed classroom portion, or somebody that is maybe you're taking health and PE2 through virtual Virginia and there is no driver's ed portion and you want to get your license. In order to get your license, if you are before you're 18 years old, you must complete this classroom portion and a driving behind the wheel portion. Most students complete that classroom portion during the year when they take health and PE2. So if for some reason your student wasn't able to do that, this is an opportunity to get that, they call it the DEC1 card for the DMV, in order to be eligible for a license. So the content is all provided basically through the program through the DMV.
We had another question come in about devices. It says, my school collects the device like a week or two before summer break. At that time, my kids do not need to return the device. I just don't want us to be in trouble.
You won't be in trouble. We'll make sure that students have the device that they need for summer. So all the schools can run a list of who's attending summer school and make sure they have the device that they need.
Driver's ed portion does not give you credit for health and PE2. It is a non-credit course. This is for students that take health and PE2 in another way, but did not complete the driver's ed hours, so cannot get their license. So this is helping them be able to get their license. So depending on if your child is going to be a sophomore, then they're probably taking health and PE2 next year, and that is when they will get their license. But if for some reason they're not in that class, or they did not pass that class, or they did not pass the driver's ed portion, or they were absent too many hours, because there's an hour requirement. So students could pass health PE2, but not receive their driver's ed card because of hours. So this is a way they can get that hours, but does not give them any credit. It just gives them that option to get their license. If you did not take it, yes, but you will have to take health and PE2 to graduate. And so you would have to have driver's ed again. So I would suggest talking with your counselor to make sure you understand if you take it, what you would have to do to still get that health and PE2 credit to graduate.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you, Mandy, Laura, and Patrick, with all this great information. And for families, again, I will be sending a follow-up email with today's presentation as well as video recording so you can have as a resource. I have placed in the chat our survey, so you let us know how you like the session today, and any feedback you would like to provide for any future sessions that we can bring to you through our family engagement series. So again, thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for the questions.
Thank you, everyone.